amatul sikki sàkk oto yi marché yi foo munti dem taxi yi sax boo ci duggee ñëpp président Ousmane Sonko lañ lay wax ak Pastef ça veut dire que réew mi ngi suñu loxo bu kenn tay bu kenn ragal lañ doon ñaan incha allahu rabbi jage si na ba pare ñu leen di ñaan militant Pastef yi ñu gën a mobiliser wu autour de l'essentiel nañu mobiliser wu autour de leur président défendre ko vaille que vaille yéen a ngi koy def guddi ak bëccëg ba léegi yéen a ngi koy def li ki des bareetul incha allah pour que ñu jël le président Ousmane Sonko teg ko ci boppu Sénégal ak lépp loo xam ni espoir la woon amoon nañ ko ci moom yàlla dimbali ñu ba Sénégal yi teg ci seen bët ba du ñu rëccu mukk liñ koy tegee ci boppu Sénégal loolu laa amoon lu ma bëgg a wax ci wolof di leen gërëm di leen sant. ñu déglu suñu jigéen Yacine Fall mu ñëw ci version anglaise bi kay merci.
Thank you for the members of the press for coming to cover this press conference. We are today trying to raise our voices to speak to the Senegalese people in Senegal and above, in Senegal and outside our frontiers, and also to the human rights community, to the international community, and to any individual or organization that considers to be a friend of Senegal. We are doing so because we are witnessing a downfall of the Senegalese democracy by Macky Sall, who confirms once again that he is determined to step over the opposition and the people of the country by maintaining himself into a dynasty that Senegalese people will not accept. President Macky Sall is convinced, based on polls that was done, that if elections in 2024 are held, he will lose at the first round. And he will lose to who? He will lose to President Ousmane Sonko. At any election held, any way you do it, whether he contributes or not, President Ousmane Sonko will be winning at the first round. And this is why he has masterminded and put together a situation of banditry that appears to the world as expressed by the Minister of Justice, Ismaïla Madior Fall, who is condemning Ousmane Sonko on a trial that has not yet taken place. You cannot be condemned without being seen to be guilty. And that is what the Minister of Justice, who is actually someone who has studied law, is doing. That is banditry. Another one is really another minister who said that when the trial will be held on the 30th, President Ousmane Sonko will be found guilty. Now, where in the world can you trial someone, find him guilty, without really going to trial and while he's still summoned in court? So we are really in a situation where the Senegalese, our country, is in a very, very, very dire situation. Let alone a sham defamation trial required by the mobilization of all forces, the police forces and the elite of the police forces, our gendarmerie, and even now our army is involved in trying to really stample on our democracy. This shows the insane will of President Macky Sall to really prevent, by all means that he can use, and especially the judiciary, weaponizing the justice system, and using the army to really prevent President Ousmane Sonko from being a candidate, and in doing so, attacking his bodily integrity and trying to take away his life, including the life of his lawyers and all of his followers, all members of the party that are along him. during the meeting, the huge giga meeting we organized in Parcelles Assainies, President Ousmane Sonko did clearly say that he confirmed again his decision to go to trial, to respond to court, but he will decide which direction and which route he will take. He has the freedom to do so. No one in Senegal, be you a political opponent or any citizen, should be given a route or direction to take. President Ousmane Sonko realized that his safety was taking Avenue Blaise Diagne, because the avenue on the Corniche was filled by thugs and militiamen hired by the state who were trying to attempt to his life. This is what brought again the confrontation. And this confrontation in 2021 started with this. This very famous corner that you can take, choosing what road to take, and he was prevented from taking the road he wanted to choose. As we know, the route they want to put President Macky Sall is filled by people who are trying to attempt to his life. In addition to all of these crimes that have happened since 2021, there is targeted kidnapping of party officials, members of our party, mayors. Yesterday, the mayor of Kermassar, who has been arrested to be punished because he organized a huge meeting. People are being arrested in the street without any procedures and legal procedures. We just find you in the street walking around, minding your business, doing your way about, and you say, okay, you are arrested, follow me. This is the state where we live in Senegal. So we are saying that these crimes, targeted killings that have happened since 2021, to members of our party, to our militants, to people in our elite, in the leadership of our party, and all coordinators, even at the regional level, this needs to stop, because there is no justification, there is no reason for this to happen. This use of force without justification is really a state, is the description and the definition of a state of tyranny and of a state of autocracy. So we would like to say that we are really condemning this, and any citizen who loves justice and democracy will really reject this and say that to President Macky Sall, stop. We would like to bring then what happened to our friend, Mr. Damboj, who is not even a member of our party, but who is a very free person who speaks his mind and who tells the truth. Everywhere he goes, he speaks his mind and he tells the truth as like it happened. He has been followed. He has, coming from a TV program, 7 shots sent on his car, and it's just by the grace of God that he was able to run fast and find a protection in a hotel. This is the state where we are. Not only members of Pastef, but also members of the society, Senegalese people, who show to President Macky Sall that we do not support the fact that you want to annihilate your opponent and the fact that you want to take away this democracy and put it at your own service. We are standing and resisting. They are being harassed, and now their attempt of killing their life. We never had this in Senegal before. Such event never happened before. A citizen being shot several times on his car while he's driving, never before. So we are saying that President Macky Sall is really putting in practice what he said before, that I will annihilate the opposition in Senegal. Now, annihilating an opposition in Senegal meaning you're going to kill democracy. That was his promise, and that's what he's putting in practice, but there is a lot of resistance to that. I want to just go back to a few dates. February 16, 2023, he planned an ambush with armed thugs, because now we have thugs, militia thugs that are in our defense and security forces, integrated into them, that are using machetes, that are using knives, stabbing people in the back, stabbing people, and this is not what an army does. We do know that the police didn't do it, gendarmerie isn't doing it, and this is what we are living in. And we are also saying that on the 14th of March, when President Ousmane Sonko was coming out of a convoy, after a very successful meeting, his car and his convoy was attacked, and tear gas were showed. And the kind of tear, I've been to demonstrations all over the world, in many times, to watch, to follow, but the kind of tear gas we have here in Senegal, there is a need for investigation. What kind of tear gas they are using in this country? Because they are really, really damaging bodily integrity, and they're really damaging people. And they are not being thrown in the sky like it is legally supposed to be done. They're throwing it towards people's body to harm them and maim them. So President Ousmane Sonko's convoy was attacked with tear gas on the 14th. On the 15th, President Ousmane Sonko was almost put on house arrest because a huge army and force surrounded his house. Like Senegal was at war against one individual. While the person who has said that he's taking him to court for, how do you say? Who's taking to court because he's really telling things that are not true for defamation. He is working freely without being, tortured or followed. President Ousmane Sonko was taken by surprise, and the whole army around his house. He was not able to get out. He was not able to take his son to school, and this happened from the 15th. And anyone from the house who wanted to go out was prevented from leaving, and anyone trying to go to visit him, including myself, was prevented, and other people were prevented from entering. This is house arrest. And we don't understand what is the ground for doing so. Now, on the 16th, the day of the court, where he was summoned to court, President Ousmane Sonko left his house in peace and healthy. We need to insist in that term, that left his house healthy, with followers that were accompanying him last before. Arriving at the very historic corner, he was again prevented from taking the road he wanted to take. And this is the second time. This is what happened in 2021. Again, this is what is happening. It happened on the 16th of March 2023. There, he's being told, you are not able to take the road you want to take. We will decide the road you want to take. When Honorable Gimir Marissanya and other people said no, President Ousmane Sonko is even allowed, according to the law, to return to his house because of this court summon. He is not obliged to go to court. He can go or he can get his lawyers represent him. They said, no, we are going to take you by force. He went into another car just to have peace. They found him in the car, they tear gassed him, and they forced him, and they actually bodily hurt him, took him and put him in another car, in a police car, to take him to the court. This is when Senegalese people said, enough is enough. We are taking the street. That's when the riot started. Now what happened? President Ousmane Sonko was forced to the court, but he was really, really violently shaken and brutally aggressed. When he arrived in the court, his clothes were dirty. He was totally confused and tired. And despite that, the prosecutor decided that they were going to pursue with the court proceedings. But while he was in this police car, and before there, they tear gassed him. They tear gassed him, they tear gassed his lawyer, and they tear gassed a member of parliament. And also, while inside the court, they tear gassed him again. Now, we know what dictators do when they want to eliminate opponents. They use these very dangerous gases that we have seen in the world, throughout the world, being used to really prevent someone from operating physically and mentally and destroying maybe even their internal organ. We have seen that people die, or later on, they just become really unable to function. So we have very high concern of what happened between the time President Ousmane Sonko was taken from that intersection and the moment he arrived inside the court. We are saying that this is really a plan to assassinate him, take his life. We are saying that, and we weight our words because this never happened in Senegal. Never in Senegal have we had a political opponent, a candidate who everyone, all the observers inside and outside the country know that if elections are taken, he has a lot of chances of being our next president, that he's being brutally aggressed in this manner. President Macky Sall has put Senegal into a state of really tyranny, into a state of barbaric violence against his opponent. And this is what we are condemning. We are saying that President Ousmane Sonko is in a very complex situation regarding his health. What happened was, inside the court, they were very concerned in terms of his ability to participate into the court. But once the court was postponed, and we said that the next date is the 30th of March 2023, when President Ousmane Sonko had the right to leave and freely go back to his home, he was again arrested. Not only was he arrested, but they took him away. While the medical team that examined him, while the court was going on, said he needed medical care. He needed to go to the hospital. They said no. And when he was getting out, tried to go to get medical care to his home or in the hospital, he was arrested again. Arrested how? Arrested, put in a police car, and taken back to his house without medical care. This is, again, President Macky Sall's attempt to harm President Ousmane Sonko, an attempt to really take life. Because as a president, as government, you need to assist people who are in danger. You do not try to annihilate him. And that's what they did. When President Ousmane Sonko was taken to his house after receiving gas that we don't know what nature it is, we cannot today say that, but knowing the kind of violence and brutality in this country, we have very much reason of concern that these gases were very dangerous gases. That's our feeling. But President Ousmane Sonko arrived in his house, and all medical experts recognize that when you are thrown these kind of gases, any kind of gases, by people who want to harm you, you need to get access to medical care, go to the emergency room, get tested. They kept him in his house, prevented him from going to the ambulance, prevented from doctors to go to see him for 6 hours. 6 hours that anything can happen. They prevented him from having care until people started making noise that they say, okay, he can go to the clinic. Now, what in the world is President Macky Sall trying to do to Ousmane Sonko? What is his agenda? Is President Macky Sall trying to burn this country? Is he trying to annihilate us, dismantle Senegal? That's what we think. And we are saying no. We will not take it, we will not accept it, it will not happen, because the Senegal doesn't belong to President Macky Sall. He was given to this country as a president. It is time for him to step down. Because when you do certain things, you have no longer the capacity, even according to the Constitution, to continue. President Macky Sall has to step down because he has to leave. He has to leave, and he will leave, inshallah. His time is over, and his time is up. So we are saying, we will continue the resistance, starting from us, the political bureau, and all of our, members of our party, all human rights, all activists, all Senegalese who really want to see this country change, who want to see this country be in peace as it has been known worldwide, who want to see this country that never had a coup d'etat, that never had a regime change through violence. We want to say that we will resist, because this is the only thing we can do at this stage, because we have our back against the wall. And when you have your back against your wall and someone is trying to kill you, all you can do is resist. And that's what we will do. So we are saying to Senegalese, inside the country and outside, do not give up. Stand up. Continue to struggle. Continue to resist. It is your right. And this is what we will do. We will use all means that are under the law to say to President Macky Sall, your time is up. Let it go. Let it go, President Macky Sall. This is not worth it, because no one will be saved out of this. This is what we wanted to say to Senegalese international community. This is what we wanted to say to the Senegalese people, because the reports on the country are not pretty. Human rights organizations are testimonies of what is happening in Senegal. The report, even media that used to demonize us, are today saying that no, this is not acceptable. So we are just saying that it is time for us to go back to our basics. You see, the rule of law, Senegalese democracy, the values that we all cherish, and that, let us stop this violence. Otherwise, it will not only be on us, it will be general. We regret what happened. We regret what happened to all of this during the riots. The economic cost of the country, we could have been prevented. This is not a trial of defamation. This is why I forgot the word. It is a political trial to prevent an opponent from running. And this is the third time the President Macky Sall is using the justice system to prevent someone who beat him, to prevent him from running. But the Senegal of 2011 and the Senegal of 2019 is not the Senegal of 2023. We have educated, we have smart, savvy young people who have all the hope of change, so they can live in a dignified country with peace. And they will not let President Macky Sall take the country away. So I thank you for listening, but we wanted to give this message to all of you. Thank you.
Les micros sont encore ouverts.